Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds in the studio. Halfway point of the week. Masters features the par 3 tournament today, but the big show starts tomorrow. When's the tee time?
Well, about 24 hours from now, they'll have the ceremonial tee shots, and that's always a very nice and nostalgic circumstance. Tommy Watson usually takes part in that. And then Jack Nicklaus, of course. And then the competition begins shortly after 7 a.m. Central Time. That's when they'll start to play. And then, of course, you take a look at some of the pairings down through the field. And interested competition, Bryson DeChambeau is, he's in a threesome with Matt Fitzpatrick and Xander Schauffele, and they begin around 9:07 Central Time. Rory McIlroy, defending champion, with Cameron Young, and an amateur player, Mason Howell. They play at 9:30 tomorrow morning. This is when they started. Scotty Scheffler with Robert McIntyre and Gary Woodland. They tee off at 12:45, and that's tomorrow afternoon. They split them up on 1 and 9. So, indeed, the competition will get underway, and hopefully the weather will be good. This is the Masters, going from the Masters green jacket. Tiger Woods not there. He's in Switzerland at the moment, getting treatment for his circumstances. But be that as it may, the Masters gets underway, and it is a very big deal.
And we've got no surprise here, at least where I'm sitting, that Michigan is the top basketball team in the nation. Now we've got our final list of top 10, but do we have anybody else in the area that made
We have some
25?
area teams that make it into the top 25, and of course Michigan, being the national champion, is one, and of course no surprise either, Connecticut's number 2, followed by Arizona, Duke, and Illinois. Okay, they were the top 5 teams. Then down the list, the Arkansas Razorbacks were 13th in America at the end of the season. Nebraska 14th, and that's a big climb for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and KU 20th. And that's not acceptable for KU. They are accustomed to being, at very least, a top 10 team, and they were not this year. And incidentally, Bill Self, the Kansas coach who had perhaps hinted at retiring at the end of the year because of health conditions, said, nope, I will be back next year. So the Jayhawks will be under the reign of the Self circumstance in coaching, and that'll be very interesting to see what he can come up with. He's a pretty good recruiter.
Yeah, absolutely. And also a lot of money. We've got St. Louis Blues in their series with the Colorado Avalanche. The first game looked great. Second game, they still look good, but couldn't get it done.
No, the Avalanche took a 3-0 lead and do go on to win 3-1, and that hurts the Blues in some respects. There are now 5 games remaining, and if St. Louis was to win all 5, that would give them 10 points. And at the moment, it would put them into the playoffs. But then again, you need help, and the teams in front of you do have to lose, and the Blues have to win. So it's pretty long shot right now. But, yeah, Colorado wins it by a score of 3-1. The good thing about all of this and the Blues winning at the end of the season is that they're all young, and they will really be a force, I believe, next year.
Cardinals win extra innings with the Nationals last night.
And they get the win, the Cardinals do. And this is very good because they had trailed 5-3 going into the 8th inning, managed to tie it up with 2 runs, and then win it in the 10th inning 7-6 thanks to J.J. Weatherhold and Thomas Saggese, both of whom had key RBI hits. Now, Washington came back to score in their half of the 10th inning, but that wasn't enough. 7-6 is the final score. The Cardinals get the win, and the Redbirds and the Washington Nationals will conclude their series this afternoon in Washington, D.C. That's weather permitting, of course. But the final 7-6 for the Cardinals are 1 game over 500 again.
The Royals are in Cleveland, and it was a little cold. I think I just wanted to see how cold it is right now. They're 27 degrees. That's not baseball weather.
It was almost that when they played the game yesterday, which was moved up in time. This is interesting. They moved it up in time to take advantage of the sun around midday. It didn't warm it up very much. It was very, very cold. They drew alleged 13,000 for the game, and the Royals had 1 hit. And that 1 hit was a home run by Carter Jensen that occurred in the 2nd inning. And that was it, 1 hit. Now, Cleveland didn't hit the ball very well either, but they took the game into the last of the 9th inning, and Brian Rocchio got a base hit, drove in the winning run, and Cleveland wins by a score of 2-1. A very cold day in Cleveland. Today, they will play again, hoping to perhaps moderate just a little bit in that cold weather. But when you're right there on Lake Erie, whoa, at this time of the year, things can get pretty frosty.
That lake effect isn't that with the same kind of deal as what they deal with in different parts of the country. So, yeah, it definitely gets a little chilly. St. Louis Cardinals are at home for a homestand that started yesterday. Did they get the win?
They did indeed. Springfield is undefeated, folks. They're 4-0. Drew a crowd of 4,000 last night for the home opener. Beat the Tulsa Drillers 8-5. A 6-run second inning for the Springbirds is what put it away. These guys are pretty good. And the winning pitcher is Brant Thompson, a former Missouri State Bear who is now in Double-A baseball, quite obviously, pitching in the Cardinals organization. Got the win in relief, didn't get the start. That was by a young Asian pitcher who the Cardinals have, Chen Wang Lu, I believe is how I pronounce his name. He went a couple of innings, and that's what you do in minor league baseball when this is a show and tell, so to speak, because the management is wanting to see what these kids can do. Yeah, you want to win, of course, that's the objective, but by the same token, how he did, he threw 2 1/3 innings, and then Brant Thompson came in and gets the win. Springfield 8, Tulsa 5, and they will play again tonight over at Hammonds Field.
Ned, you stay warm, and I will see you tomorrow.